know what, Chris? Can I say something here? And I think we are part of this issue. So we were at the Hawks game last week, and the guys behind us. First of all, I cannot stand when people come to, and these guys had great seats. Pat bought his tickets. They probably got them from work. These seats were amazing, and they did not. I don't feel like they paid attention to the game at all. First of all, and that's your prerogative. Do your thing. Kind of pisses me off because I'd love to. We were so into the game, but fine. The other thing though is a lot of their talk was just about gambling, and I kind of think. Listen, I'm not a morals guy or anything, and do what you want to do with your money. But I think there is kind of a maybe a little bit of an issue with gambling in younger guys.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I think anybody in that whole entire section was probably annoyed with the crap out of all of us because we actually were paying attention and having a good time at the game, and everybody else was just like,
I don't think too many people were paying attention.
Yeah, no, too many people. It was more. I feel like we are more at Kuhn and at home. And probably more liked up in the 300 section where people actually are there to see the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Enjoy the game. This is more of like a status, a symbol type thing for these people in this area. Like, hey, look at how close we sat. We were at the game, this and that. They have no clue what the hell's going on. Where me, you, Brian, Pepsi, Pat are just like, fight the guy, hit him in the face. And just like all that stuff.
I definitely agree. My point was a little bit more towards the gambling aspect of it.
I was taking your kind of proponent where like the guys were talking about gambling and doing that, and just like that's all they did the whole entire game. I feel like, and
again, I just think every time I hear guys like in the bars nowadays,
I mean, gambling is so much more prevalent these days.
It's insane.
Well, obviously, I mean the legalization is the reason of it.
Even one of my buddies was gambling on Europe basketball. He's like, I just needed something to have something during the day, and I'm like. All right, listen. I get we get alcoholics, but I really do think this. Like people gamble. Like the guy, the receiver for crap. Maybe it was the Saints. I don't know if it was the Saints. There's a rookie receiver who just got. Yeah, I think it was. No, it was the Saints. A rookie receiver with the Saints who just got charged with a felony for gambling because he's underage. You got to be 21 to do the online gaming. Guess how many bets he had in a year?
1,500.
9,000 bets.
1,500 seemed light. I was in like.
I have no.
9,000. It had to be. I think it was like 28 bets a day you had to have that amount.
That just seems outrageous. But I mean, like when you turn on the TV and every other commercial, something kind of came.
Yeah.
I mean, ESPN came out with like their own like betting like thing like 2 months ago. Every place has some kind of.
Guys at work, they're always talking about like their gambling and sports betting, so that and
I mean, look at the Cubs. The Cubs have
like Vegas. Nobody loses, right?
The Cubs have a sports book off the side of their stadium now.
But there's also there's giant casinos being built and sports books and new casinos so somebody's losing these
exactly.
Games. So you talk about it's like anything. You talk about the one you win. I had that great three team parlay, Chris, this weekend. But then I also lost 7 other bets that I don't talk about.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of that going on.
I think there's gonna be. I think we're gonna see a little bit more. These guys, I don't know how much they're betting, but I think this is going to be a bigger issue down the road. I think something we need to look out for.
You're going to have something. You have a generation that's coming up already that doesn't seem to have quite the same outlook on working in general.
Yep.
And they're not buying. They're not doing things like buying houses. They're not.
Well, you really can. It's pretty expensive.
I'm saying, but that's still even before then then the pandemic there was not a lot of younger people buying stuff during when the rates were lower. So I think you have that combined with, this. I think that their fiscal responsibility is going to be interesting to watch this generation kind of going forward.
Is that old man talk right there, Chris? What do you think?